Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.stampingup.net. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I'm stamping around the UK with my Stamp Around UK friends, and we're doing a video hop featuring the new in colours. We have some absolutely lovely new colours. We have Moody Mauve, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue and Pebbled Path. As well as the ink pads, we have coordinating blends, markers and paper. So I'm going to be using these colours today to show you what they all look like, and my friends from the Stamp Around UK video hop team are going to be doing exactly the same. So do head to my description bar below, expand it, and you can get links to all of their videos. Now I'm going to be using the Dainty Delight Cling Stamp set. Love this one. It was in the last mini. It's stayed over into the annual, and I'm going to be using Nature's Prints because I love this sort of textured blob, this sort of paint splat, and I'm going to be using that as well to create my card. Now what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to create my own background. Now I'm doing this on a sheet of cardstock that is already cut to card side, so it's 10.5 centimeters by 14.8. But what you can do is you could do it on an A4 sheet of cardstock, do it all the way over, and then cut that down so that you get 4 background panels, and it would just take the same time. So you can always do that as well. So I'm using this big piece here. This is the biggest stamp in the set. And I'm just going to ink this up with my Memento ink because I'm going to be colouring it in with the blends. So just stamp all over. And you can see my DSP already has this stamp in the background. That's because some idiot, me, filmed this earlier and didn't press record. So I have 2 cards now, yay! But I really liked how it turned out. So I was very happy with having 2 cards, to be honest. So you just want to stamp this around, and you can notice while the first 2 have done the same height, that was kind of accidental, didn't really mean to. You can put them any which way, just keep turning the stamp around and just get the pattern onto it. Yes, it does stand upright if you use the stems, but if you don't, it could easily be one that's bent over or one that's just in the background. It doesn't matter. So just keep twisting it around, keep spiraling in it, have some fun. And fill up most of the pieces of the plain white. Once we've done that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in our blends. So as I said, we've got blends for each of the new in colours. Fantastic. So I'm going to be starting out with Moody Mauve, and I'm starting with the dark, and I'm putting them in the middle of the flowers. And then I'm going to go over the top with the light just to blend it in. And you can see I'm doing it on the open flowers. That's where I'm featuring the Moody Mauve. Such a pretty colour. I've seen quite a few people online actually not liking the Moody Mauve. They're saying it's a bit too moody, a bit too deep. It's not like a pink. And I love it. I think it's lovely. I don't understand why people don't like it, to be honest. I've been enjoying using it. I think we've got lots of you know, Melon Mambo, we've got Flirty Flamingo, we've got some bright pinks, and I think it's quite nice to have a dusky one. So I do quite like this, and I think it's going to come in very handy for doing more floral pieces, especially more floral pieces around sort of the autumn time. I definitely think it's going to work out quite well there. So just keep colouring around and making sure that you've got all the pieces. If you don't get them all first time around, you'll notice it a little bit later on. I always do that. I think I've got all the pieces I'm doing in the one colour, and then it's a little bit later that I notice I hadn't and had to bring the blends pen back. So this is Copper Clay, and I'm again using the dark and the light, and Copper Clay is going over all of the smaller flowers and the closed buds. Okay, so I'm just putting a little dot on each one with the dark, and then I'm just going to spread it with the light. There's not as many of these, but it just creates this really nice pop. These colours go so well together, they really are lush. Okay, so I'm just going over those now, and they blend really well. There we go. See, I told you I'd miss one. Okay, next colour in is Wild Wheat. Now for this one I am just using the Wild Wheat Light because I'm just using it on the actual sort of wheaty looking pieces and the top of the baby's breath. So there's not much room to blend it in, and this I just want to pop out bright with the colour. Again, this is one that probably I don't think was received fantastically well online. And I kind of get it when you see it on paper in the catalogue. It might not look the most attractive of colours, but actually it's a really nice sort of, I can say a neutral colour. It's not neutral, but it's like that. It's like a goldy yellow and it's pretty. I quite like it. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. If anything, my least favourite is probably Pebbled Path, which is this one. Very unusual for me. I normally like the greys. I like grey granite. I like smoky slate. I think this one's just probably a bit too dark for me. It's still nice, but this would probably be the one that I didn't love as much. But everyone else seems to love it. So I'm just obviously odd with my taste. So I'm just doing the leaves with this. And you can see it's just creating a really subtle effect with this Dainty Daisy. This is a lovely stamp set though, isn't it? Really, really subtle, and I just think it's classy. So just colouring in all the leaves. There are a lot of leaves. I'm not going to lie, there are a lot of them. And I'm doing this with the light Pebbled Path because, as I said, I think it's just a little bit too dark for me, so I've just done it with the light one. Going over all of those, making sure you don't miss a piece. Now this is the last of my blending. We still have one more colour, which is Balmy Blue, and I think without doubt I can work out that's everybody's favourite blue. And I'm lying when I say it's Balmy Blue. It's Boho Blue. We already have a Balmy Blue. Oh, honestly, I get tongue-tied. This is Boho Blue, and I'm going to be using the ink pad for this one. I'm going to come in with that gorgeous ink splat that I pointed out to you earlier from the Nature's Print set. And I am stamping this off and then stamping it onto the paper. Off paper, off paper. So it's slightly lighter and it just allows the flowers to still be the main focal piece. And that is my background piece. As I said, you could have done it on a full A4 sheet and chopped it down so you had 4 in the background, but I just decided to do 1 for this video. And I'm using the sentiment from the Nature's Prints, which says a heartfelt thank you. And I'm going to be using the oval punch with that. Now the oval punch has both the circle and the scallop. I'm using the scallopy one. There we go. Punch that out and that goes onto the card. This is a card base which I've already cut from a piece of A4. So I cut it in half and then scored it in half, which has created my card base, which is the exact same size as my piece of paper. So you can see there, you can't even see a frame around it. It just mounts it perfectly. And that is pretty much the background of the card. Now I'm going to use some twine with this. I'm using the Elegant Trim, and this is the gold colour. And I've put a square with my Stampin' Seal, and you can see that I am just wrapping this around the square, using where the adhesive is to hold it in place so that it actually makes 3 loops, but all in that sort of cross. I said I made a square, I made a cross, that's what I made. I know my shapes. Pop a couple of dimensionals on the backing of the sentiment and that will hold that twine in place and it will just sit perfectly then. It's only just a little bit of an embellishment on the background just to give it that bit of pop, and then the brush butterflies to go on top as well, and that will be my card finished. What do you reckon? I quite like it. Don't forget, please head down to the description bar and expand it to hop along and see what all my other friends have done. And this is the card that I thought I'd filmed earlier but didn't film earlier. You can see it's the same, and it's using all of the new ink colours. Leave me a comment below, let me know which one's your favourite. I'd like to know which one you're going to use first, and don't forget to check out everybody else. And here's the finished project. Thank you for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Everything I've used today is available from slimandstylish.stampinup.net. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop me a like or leave me a comment. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and come back for more content. I also have an Instagram page that I'm trying to grow at the same time. It's @slimandstylish, and every like or follow helps. Thanks everybody for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.